Hi, this is Evan here, Molendinarius, and it's a bit noisy over here in my flat today as they're busy demolishing things outside and demolishing things across the corridor, so no recording being done today. Instead, I want to talk to you a little bit about the recent updates to Latinum at Patreon. So, yes, my camera's over there today. Hello, how are you? So, what I've done so far is this. I've been recording through the Book of Psalms in restored classical pronunciation. To my knowledge, there is no recording of the Vulgate Psalms in the classical pronunciation available. And I've got through past the first 100 Psalms, so we're getting close to the end of the book. That's Vulgate. When I finish the Vulgate Psalms, I intend to record the versions of the translation by Castellion. Castellion translated the Bible into Latin in a far more classical idiom than the Vulgate translation. I'm a great fan of Castellion's translation of the Bible, and as a student of Latin, classical Latin, I think it's an important text to have a look at. So I'm going to be doing his Psalms, probably not as frequently as I did with the Vulgate, but I'll slowly work my way through as I work on other projects. The other thing that I've been working on is recording John Sterling's Latin paraphrases. I think these are very important as an intermediate step between the classics in pure form and student level texts. So there's sort of upper level student texts, because what he's done is he's inserted words to make things slightly clearer when they're unclear, and rearranged the word order slightly where necessary to make things easier to understand. But it's all in Latin. So I'm doing his Eutropius at the moment, Eutropius, and then I'm going to work through other texts. I've got about 8 or 9 of his in my collection. Now, John Sterling, very little is known about John Sterling. He was an educator in the 18th century, and he published a series of texts which were quite popular for a time. But then, as Latin stopped becoming a workhorse language, it became less important to be fluent in it, and instead Latin teachers started to focus on grammar, etc., as we know now, seeing the value in Latin in the quasi-mathematical analysis of a language rather than the language itself as a language, which is a great pity. But that's the state of Latin education today in many places. So that's what I'm working on, and then I'm also working on other projects. I'm quite happy to have suggestions passed my way, so if there's a particular text that's not in copyright that you would like to see recorded in full on my Patreon site, please have a look there. All of my Latin courses are available. The entire catalogue is on Patreon. All the Adler course, the various other courses are produced, full audiobooks. There are 2 levels. There's a level where you can pay a small amount and you get access to streaming everything, or you can pay slightly more and then you get access to download, so you can put the material onto your phone and listen to it as you wish. And of course the material that's downloaded is broken up into nice little units, whereas the streaming material is slightly more unwieldy. That's Latinum at Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com, patreon.com, and you type in the search box Latinum, Latinum, or just type in Latin, there is not that much Latin on Patreon, you'll find my page, and you can become a patron if you wish. That's all. I've been working on this quite intensively, and as the a number of patrons rises, I'm tempted to throw in my job and spend a large amount of time on this every day. We'll see. If the Patreon becomes viable, then I will be able to work on my Latin far more consistently than I am able to at the moment, as I juggle it between work, studying law, and doing my Latin and living my life as well. Anyway, that's all from me. Vale, and Drop your comments below if you have any suggestions that you would like for me to record for Latinum on Patreon, for my audio material there. That's all for now. Bye.